Hey guys, I'm Brad Utterstrom. Thought I'd just do a little update video, maybe draw something for you guys, tell you guys what I've been up to. I'll start with just kind of these over here. I've been pushing this for a couple weeks ever since I got them. I got my new card set in, and I'm giving samples away free, basically to anybody who wants them. What I did was, you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I got all these ready to go here. So, I don't really need to show that because it's too late to do it that way anyway. Anyway, the way I had it was, you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll put some cards in a pack. I kind of put them in random order. I made sure nobody had any doubles, but there's a couple from the new set. You can see the rounded corners. And then a couple from my older MMA set. Just to give a sample of some of my cards. These are my business cards with my website and stuff on the back. But they kind of double as a trading card set. And if you've been watching my videos recently, you've already seen a couple peeks at those. But so I randomized a bunch of packs, kind of. Those will go into the self-addressed stamped envelopes people have sent me. And then I didn't get as much response as I expected, maybe. And so after a bit, I started saying, like maybe people are, it's too much trouble to go through filling out envelopes, and I had a couple people tell me, man, I haven't mailed anything in forever. So then I was like, well, just send me $2 PayPal and I'll do it. So a few people did it that way, which is kind of neat. Anyway, I made a list on the computer of all the people who are in. I will do this. I will send these out probably in 2 days. So I'm going to check the mail. No, tomorrow. I'm going to check the mail today and tomorrow. By then, anybody who has sent me a self-addressed stamped envelope, it should be here. Then I'll run the drawing to see who's going to win the prizes. So everybody gets the free little pack. One person will get the complete set instead of a little 5-pack. One person will get an original sketch card. And yeah, so I'm going to do that. That's what I've been kind of working on lately. I'm going to do that in a couple days and get those mailed off. And I'm just really excited to get these cards out into the world and hopefully move on to the next set. I think my next expansion will be like a mixed sports one. I've got 5 or 6 from old school WWF days. Actually, it's mostly NWA, but yeah, pro wrestling from the 80s. I got some of those. And then I got a couple each of, basketball, baseball, football probably, and then some old school hockey players too. So that'll be fun. Yeah, let's see. Oh, through this self-addressed stamped envelope thing, I got a couple neat cards from other people who, along with their envelope, sent me something. Drew Lopez. This is his business card. Artist for hire, Drew Lopez. I think this is probably an original drawn on the front of, obviously, Rick from The Walking Dead. That's kind of a neat way to do business cards, too. My idea was always, print up business cards, trading card size, business card on the back, different images on the front, so it's like a trading card set. I just always wanted it like that. My first set was actually a little more like this in that it was business card sized, but I still had the different art on the front. But I wonder if this guy, if his deal is he printed up these blank business cards on the front with just his name on it and these little guidelines, and then he does a drawing for people. That's kind of a neat way to do it too. I like it. And then another artist sent me his business card. Ted Dastick Jr. He has a little drawing of himself here as Han Solo in the old school Topps Star Wars cards. That's pretty rad. He personalized it. Hey, Brad. He's got a little bit of info on his background in the back here. So this is kind of like his business card too, I'm sure. So this is really neat to see a couple other ideas of how artists are doing that and making it cool. I mean, this is fantastic, you know. And then this is not a business card. This was a commission I did a while back for a customer who told me from the outset he was going to get them printed up as this is just the one image. He sent me a few of them just so I could check it out. I thought they turned out real nice. It's Terrence Crawford. He's a pro boxer. I think he fights this weekend, actually. I just saw a commercial for him. And I think he was going to try and get some of them signed or something, but I don't know if that ended up happening or not. Let's see. So that gets me caught up on my mailing stuff. I've been drawing away, as usual, on set work. That's not a set that's common knowledge just yet, so I won't go into that too much. But I have started a new habit in the last couple weeks. I found this app called Sketchy. That's sketchy without an E. And it's basically a site for anybody but artists in general. So people upload pictures of themselves, mostly. There's some animals and stuff like that too. And then it gives artists reference to look, free reference to grab and draw something. And so you go on, you see what pictures people are uploading, you draw one of them, you upload your drawing. So it's just kind of a neat way. I heard of it initially from biker scout Dave Gaskin. He was big on that. I saw a couple of his videos where he was drawing sketchy stuff. Now, I'm just too busy with actual work to really do those drawings justice, but I've been using it for myself as like a warm-up. So I got my little sketchbook. I've never been a sketchbook guy. I watch Jake Parker's videos, and he's like, oh, you got to fill up a new sketchbook every month or two. Or Sketchy Trav's another one who's big on sketchbooks. I don't believe I've ever filled up a sketchbook, ever. I've got some that are close. But anyway, I got this tone tan one that I like, and so what I've been doing with it is, a couple of these are old, I'll flip through, is making sketch cards in it. These were just kind of testing things out. I wasn't crazy about. But with Sketchy, I've been using it for like warm-up sketches. So I've been dating them, and most of them I've been doing in 10 minutes. I kind of keep one eye on the clock. It's not really a hard and fast rule. A couple of these took me, closer to 15. And a couple of these were not as great. Some of them were a little more experimental. Like here, I hated this one. I did it yesterday. But I used different materials that I haven't used before, so I just wanted to try things out. I'm not going to do anything. I think I'll try and do one here on video real quick, which might be difficult because drawing and talking is hard at baseline. And with these, I've been very specifically trying to rush. Like I said, I've been using it as a warm-up, so I draw like as fast as I can. I try not to hesitate. I try and just get the really important stuff down quick and go with it. That might prove quite difficult. I'm not really sure. It might go okay too, so we'll see. I've actually watched back or listened to some of my previous art videos when Jeff Lafferty or Scott Cirkland or any of my art buddies don't have a new video out that I haven't seen, and I need something to listen to while I draw. A couple times I've pulled up my own videos, and it's funny, I have noticed that almost every time I end up talking about how hard it is to draw and talk at the same time, which I know some people have gotten used to that, but I've also seen, very high-level artists go, oh, I didn't realize how hard this was going to be. So I pulled up the Sketchy app. I got a photo loaded and ready to go. I tend to like drawing dudes with beards. Beards are always kind of fun. And this is what I do. And when I'm doing a sketch card, like for a set, I'm usually very particular about getting it just the right size. And I just do it like this. I get it, about the size I want to draw it. And I just start going. So if I have to stop talking and concentrate, I will. We'll see how that goes. And then if I do that, I'll probably just dub over some music or something if I need to. But hopefully I can keep chatting away while I draw here. I'm very much not used to drawing quickly. I'm used to being very meticulous and tender with all of my marks. And so even quick sketching like this, that's a problem I have. It constantly goes a little, the screen starts to go off and I have to touch it. And then sometimes it pops the video back out and I have to resize it again. I'm sure there's something in the settings that I can fix that up. But anyway, cut myself off and lost my train of thought there. Yeah, it's difficult for me to do this because I'm so used to calculating my distance here and making sure every mark is as accurate as I can make it, more or less. So I just try. It's still very important to me as an artist. My first priority, usually doing portraits, is to get a likeness. So I really do try to get the likeness still, even in these quick ones. But beyond that, I'm just trying to get the shapes in the right places and get the most important details down. Not looking for it to be perfect, but I still want it to look good in the end, right? And some artists really are great at making everything they do look good, and I'm not one of those. And so that's why I think this is especially good practice for me, because I want to get better at that. And what I have noticed is this is helping me. Like I said, I use it as a warm-up. So after this, I'll cut this video off or whatever, and then I'll go and start working on my sketch card sets for today. And I'll probably do penciling. So just like this, taking blank space and starting to draw my sketch cards there. And usually what I notice is after doing one of these warm-ups for 10 minutes, I'm a little bit quicker and more accurate at getting those going and getting them, getting the shapes down, not being too hesitant, getting the shapes down and accurate quicker, so that the underlying quick sketch portion of it doesn't take me 20 minutes. So that maybe I can do that and get it real accurate in 5 to 10. 5, probably not. What I will tell you about the set I'm working on is it's football, which I haven't done before. So, I've drawn a couple football images, but I haven't done a football set. So, that's cool stuff. I'm not a huge football fan myself, but I do like it, and it makes it a little more fun for me to kind of follow. It's on TV every weekend, and I often will turn the game on and half follow it, and I play sort of an online type fantasy football thing. It's not really like fantasy football, but a little bit. I set a lineup based on the players that are playing that night. And so having to draw some of them has gotten me a little more familiar with some of the names and stuff like that. See, even this I'm being a little more tender and particular than I would like, but that's alright. I've been trying to experiment a little with these, like I showed you the one I did yesterday with some inks that I've never used. Some markers from a different brand, and I only had the two colors, like brown and yellow. So I was like, that might be a good way to kind of limit it. But I like to try and use this in ways as a, an experiment to try out new stuff like that. So I'm not just doing the same thing over and over. Today, so actually, pencil for me is pretty different. I tend to avoid pencil, and here I am using it. This is a Palomino Blackwing. I was recommended this at the art store. They kind of said this is a really good pencil that's like, it's like a little, I want to say it's a little darker than regular pencils usually are. I don't do a whole lot of shading and stuff like that, but I try and do just a little bit, just the bare minimum. What's necessary. See, even here I'm kind of going over things that I've already drawn. It's just habitual. And I want to get a little better about that, not having to do that step. Right here I'm already at 6 or 7 minutes, so I'm pretty, maybe even more. I didn't look exactly when I started. I looked up after a couple minutes, so I'm just guesstimating. But I'll try and do it at about 10 minutes, like I said, to keep it in line with what I've been doing. Go nice and dark here on the beard. I don't have a real particular style that I draw. This, if anything, is probably my style, the little squigglies. I like to do squigglies instead of this type of shading. You see a lot of this, and I'm just not that great at it or comfortable with it, I guess. So that's the only reason I don't do a lot of that. I do sometimes, but it's not my go-to, And then for highlights, I've got a white pencil that I use sometimes. It seems like everybody, artists, use this Prismacolor white colored pencil for their highlights. And I don't know how the heck they do it and get such bright whites. Obviously, I'm not pressing super hard, so that's part of it. But it's just, I don't know, you see some crazy good ones. Like, it's just, Jeff Lafferty's really good at that. I know that's what he uses. And just about everybody. I don't know if I've seen anybody using a different pencil for their whites. So I'm going to keep up with it. It is kind of nice. Even just that little bit gives it more depth for sure. Pops out some of those light areas. And you can see I'm just barely hinting at where the highlights are and stuff. Let's see a little bit on the back of the neck here. And I'm just about out of time. Not that I'm really out of time. I could draw for as long as I want. I'm going to leave the beanie alone. I'm not too worried about it. I do like to do this for my real dark highlights. Or real white highlights. I like to use this gel pen. It does pop in a couple highlights here that are the more important ones. I use this gel pen quite a bit, and I don't love it, but it is pretty good. It's the best I've found for what I try and do with these. That's on black paper, and I use the gel pen for all those whites. For sure. Alright, I think I'm going to call that one pretty much done. Have to get a little more definition in the eyes here, but I'm not sure if it's going to really work out. Let's highlight a couple beardy hairs. See that? Like it doesn't really draw over top of the pencil very well. Just in the spaces that weren't already drawn is where it really picks up the white at all. Alright, that's about 10 minutes. And done. That's how I do a sketchy. What's the day? The 20th? Cool. Thanks for watching, you guys. So that's what I've been doing with this sketchbook. And if I do that, you know, I've been doing about one a day. Yesterday I did 2 because I hated the first one. A couple of days I've missed. So, but when I sit down to draw, I start out with that. And I hope maybe that's something, you know, other artists out there want to try and can take a little bit of, take some of my ideas, see if I can get a decent shot of it without too much of the glare. Let's see, this real glary. And I already lost my reference, but I'll see if I can pop it back up. Yeah, it's there. Not too bad, I'm happy with that. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Catch me next time. Catch you next time. Subscribe, like. I'm really trying to get up there. I have almost 5 subscribers now, I think. So maybe I'll do a giveaway at 10. No, I'm kidding. I don't actually know what my numbers are. Alright, later.